Welcome to my channel. Today's reading is going to be a channeled message from Spirit. We have 3 groups to choose from. The first group being the green paper, the second group with the orange paper, and the third group with the red paper. You're welcome to take a moment to see which pile you feel the most drawn to. You can also pause the video if you need a little bit of time to meditate there. Moving on. So we'll start with group 1. So if you chose the green paper, then this is your reading for today. It's just a channeled message from Spirit. The message that we have is, my love of this life is only half of the amount of love I have for you. So this will be interesting to see what we actually get come through in this reading. I had no intention of it being, you know, a love or romantic reading of any kind, so I do wonder if it's maybe not even really about a relationship as per se, but we'll see as we get into it. Hoping everybody's doing well today, or as well as you can be. And if you live, you know, I live in Queensland in Australia, and it's summer, so it is humid. Hoping you guys are able to escape the heat as well. Yeah, unless of course where you are is really cold and you would like the heat. Okay, anyway. So we have the Sun, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Devil. I feel like there's nothing here that you didn't already know with the Sun card coming out. So I feel like this is the energy that you're currently in. Maybe things have been good, like good times, or it's just a case that you're in a good place. I feel like that's what it is. So you yourself are in a good place. Okay. But it's also a bit of a trick to not want to let that go. It's like, because you know things are good, you may be like holding on to it, trying to maintain this state that you're in. The only thing is if we grip too tightly, then I guess we change the energy that we're in anyway. So it's almost a pointless pointless what's the word, like it's pointless trying to circumnavigate the situation, because you're still so attached to the outcome that you basically change it regardless of how tight you try to hold on to it anyway. I am hearing it's born out of necessity. So okay, I'm getting directed to talk about the smoky quartz. So the smoky quartz can be really good for protection. I'm hearing psychic protection, negative energies and entities, and I guess just in general, like other people's energies. It can help transmute energy as well. Okay. I think there was something in there that was all they needed you to know. So moving on. Okay, I feel like the only challenge here is to let go for this point in time. It's like, try not to grip it too tightly. It's like you're in a really good place, and you do have to try to just trust that things will work out, or let go a little bit just to see if they do. And I mean, we all know, we've all heard it before, that if it doesn't work out, then it probably wasn't what we would have really wanted, or it wouldn't have been the best outcome for us, for our highest good or higher selves anyway. I do want to take a moment here to just sit with this Devil card though, and just see if there's something extra here. Okay, so I'm getting something about like the thing that, the extra thing that this group needs is extra time. And I was hearing like you're keeping yourself stuck by going like round and round in circles, trying to get all this stuff done, but then like running out of time. So I wonder if it's a case of trying to decide what needs to stay and go, instead of maybe we can't, maybe we want to hold on to all 4 pentacles, and maybe there's been a lot of times in our lives where that was easily doable, but maybe right now we just need to be able to put 1 down temporarily, just to give ourselves a little bit of reprieve, so that we can, you know, have a bit of clarity, have a little bit of I don't know, it's just we don't even necessarily have to rest here. We just have to be able to slow down a little bit, just enough to be able to make a clear decision. And it's bizarre that I'm giving you this message, because I feel quite clear within your energy, and so I wonder if typically you normally are. So maybe this is something that's like, I guess it's not quite where you're at, but it's something that can happen. Like, it's maybe you've been heading in this direction. Excuse me. Maybe you've been heading in this direction, or maybe it's something that you do find like crops up a little, you know, over the next period of time. Okay, so I'm getting something highlighted here about the colors in this 4 of Pentacles card. So it's particularly like the pink, the purple, and the blue here. So I'm just, I'm getting it linked to like the heart chakra, like the crown or the 3rd eye chakra, and the throat chakra as well. So okay, so I'm hearing an underactive heart chakra creates an overactive crown chakra, which basically like throws out the throat chakra here. So it's almost like maybe you've spent like more time in your head, or overthinking things, or maybe something's been on loop, or yeah. It's just an increase in mental energy than what would be really like, what would be, I guess, the best practice. I don't necessarily know if this is something that you've dealt with before as per se, but rather it's just something that's coming up that you'll have to keep an eye out for, and do what you can. I'm also getting that very clear message to try to maintain feeling grounded during this time. So like doing little things that you can, that you find grounding. Grounding can be a number of things. You can achieve it through meditation, or spending time in nature, or even things like rest or slowing down. Really just being present. So if you spend a lot of time on screens, maybe just take a step back for a week or so, or a few days here and there if you can, or where you can. Ideally like looking after ourselves, and just yeah. For some of you, I feel like you can see there's like a city here in the background behind her. And for some of you, I feel like you may live in quite built up areas where it's hard to get away from people that may have like toxic behavioral patterns and whatnot. And it's a case of like trying to stay grounded whilst you're around them, because you can't particularly just get away from them. I'm hearing that it's mostly just one particular person. So it could just be, whether it's a person that you live with, because I sort of get the sense that it is about location, and that you're almost forced to deal with them. So if it's not about like your living situation, I wonder if you work with this person, where we're forced to enter, not forced to, but I mean, we enter into this environment where we deal with people that we wouldn't necessarily continue to deal with, other than the fact that we need our livelihood, and that's how, yeah. I'm also getting that there's it's one other particular person that you're really stuck with, or sort of trapped with, or connected with in some ways that you don't want to be. I wonder if this is like, for some of you, like an ex or an old, it's like a person wanting to stay with you that you don't want to stay with. But I feel like in a lot of ways you've liberated yourself from this person somehow, and then you're just trying to maintain the balance without them. But it's like they come back and try to pull you back in, or they they try to insert themselves in your life, or they're trying, I don't know what it is, they're trying to like weasel their way back in, or there's something there. Okay, so if you know who this person is, I feel for most of you, I wouldn't have to point out that they're a person that it would probably not be best to have them come back into your life. For others of you, this situation has maybe not played out in like as extreme ways as it has for others. So maybe you're actually unsure of this person, and it's trying to make that decision of like head over heart and whatnot as well. So it's trying to stay grounded during this time of making a decision, so that you don't end up getting stuck with a person that is otherwise like maybe doesn't have the best intentions to even begin with, let alone anything else. Yeah. If you don't have a person coming to mind here, I guess I can caution you. But at the end of the day, we all have discernment, and you know, it's up to us ultimately to be paying attention to the people in our lives, and yeah, I guess we can all make our own decisions. So what they are pointing out is that they want me to remind you how good this energy is that you're currently in, or you've like recently stepped into in some way, where maybe you do feel liberated and you're feeling good within yourself. Because what it is, like, maybe, do you know, for some of you, this person might not even actually be that bad. For some of you, this person is probably fine, but it's more your relationship to, like, the relationship with them, if that makes sense. So maybe it's more the fact that you have an obsessive nature when it comes to relationships, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, where maybe you do get stuck in your head and ruminate quite a lot about the actual relationships around you, or that you've formed, and maybe you find it really hard to break that pattern. So it's like trying to stay present and trying to stay grounded so that you can return to like a normal, like not normal, but like a balanced or grounded place within yourself where this doesn't play out the way that it is. The other side of it is that acknowledging that that's actually what the case could be all that you really need to do here anyway. Like for some of you, I feel like that's just enough on its own. And when you're in times of doubt, or you are caught up on, I keep getting pulled to like an obsessive loop or something. Like if it's not rumination, like it's, maybe for some of you it's like intrusive thoughts or something like that, where you're almost thinking of things out of the blue that you're just like, why am I even thinking about this? But it might happen to you like, you know, 10 times a day or 20 times a day, every day for however long. Yeah. Okay, so going back to that, so they just want you to remember what it was like to be in this sun energy and to embody it. Yeah. And that's going to be like your key on how to help you discern, I guess, either how this person or situation actually makes you feel. And just remembering that trying to like hold on really tightly, it's tricky, right? Because we're getting like a dualistic message here, or there's a duality within the message itself of, you know, they want you to remember what it felt like to embody this sun energy here, but they only want you to remember so that you can tell the difference. They don't want you to try to, I guess they don't want you to become attached to the outcome of maintaining this energy, in a sense where it takes over, like the need for, or the attachment to the outcome overtakes the energy itself, because when you do that, you can sort of get stuck back in this devil energy anyway. So this is kind of bizarre. I feel like this would sort of be like walking a tightrope, like not a tightrope, there's something else here. Okay. So my love of this life is only half of the amount of love I have for you. I feel like this is more an addiction. I wonder for some of you if you haven't had, like, when I say addiction, it doesn't have to be drugs. We can get addicted to all sorts of things. Like we can get addicted to our devices. We can get addicted to shopping. We can, I don't know, people get addicted to food, and also people get addicted to exercise. There's all sorts of like funny little things that we can get addicted to. And I guess the most important thing to acknowledge is that it's in the addiction itself rather than what the addiction is in regards to. So I wonder if you've had a period of time where you've in a lot of ways broken the cycle here, and that's what sort of has you starting off in this really good energy, and it's like trying to maintain that balance so that you don't get stuck in it again, or so that you can like sort of find your real liberation of freedom. I'm getting a message here that the sun is really pretty and so are you. So despite how you feel about yourself or what gender you are, sometimes spirit, you know, wants us to realize that there's actually nothing wrong with us if we do have any sort of distaste for our own physical appearances. But there's also a lot of beauty within this card where there's like the sunflowers and you know, the unicorn's hair is all wavy and has the flowers, like, you know, I guess it's like a flower wreath has been placed on the unicorn, and the girl has a flower crown, and the dress is like all the girly, like the pink purple frills and whatnot. I'm hearing that the time that it takes you to read this card is the time it takes you to learn about yourself, and that it would be helpful for you if you have the ability to actually learn about in the tarot, the actual sun card, because I feel like there's something else here where it's going to be a repeating theme for you throughout life. So this particular deck, the Neoteric Feminine Tarot, actually does have, you know, some little meanings here of what this card could possibly be. We have happiness, success, optimism, vitality, joy, confidence, and truth. And we also have, like if the card was in reverse, for example, blocked happiness, excessive enthusiasm, pessimism, unrealistic expectations, and conceitedness. I do wonder for some of you if you have this unrealistic expectation that this energy will be like a permanent state, because in life, I guess if we're human, we're never just happy all the time, okay? It's like near impossible. They're also pointing out the red in each of these cards, and I do wonder if the reason why the red is in the flag in the sun card here in the first place is because it's like waving the flag of feeling safe in relation to the root chakra. And then, you know, in this Four of Pentacles energy, she seems to be balancing it but steady and stable enough. And then in the Devil here, it's the devil themselves that are red. So I wonder for some of you if this is linked to a sense of safety, whether that's your environment externally or within yourself. There's something here to do with a level of feeling safe within yourself or your environment. Okay. They're pointing out something else here about this brick wall in the sun card, where you could imagine if you had this idea in your head that the closer that you get to the sun, the better the times are. So for some people, they might try to climb up on the brick wall in hopes to be closer to the sun to increase their good times. The only thing is that they're referencing is like, no matter how far up you get, the sun is always going to, like, it's impossible to get to the sun, more or less. No matter how far you go, it's never going to be enough here. So I feel like it's more about just embracing this place that you're in for this time being and making the most of it, and just taking life as it comes, just accepting it as it unfolds. Rather than being attached to any outcomes, or I don't know, but like, you know, we heard at the start that it was like born of necessity. So I do think maybe for some of you, this may have been one of the first better times in life that you've had for a while, let alone at all. And so when we get that, it's like tangible, basically in our hands, we just want to keep it, we want to grab it and hold on to it. But it's that essence of just embracing it and making the most of it, and then accepting that it comes and goes. Okay, so that's everything that I've got for the tarot. So we're going to move on and take some oracle cards. The first cards that I want to use are from the Chakra Love deck. Let's see. Because we're not actually using any individual crystals for today's reading, so the crystal cards are coming out themselves. There we go. Okay, so we have strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. And oh my god, the chakra is the root chakra and the crystal is for smoky quartz. So that's amazing. That's like exactly what we just talked about, was the root chakra and the smoky quartz. Cool, so there's some confirmation if we ever wanted it. Okay, we're going to take another oracle card. I don't know what the name of this deck is, whether it's like the universe has my back, or it's when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I'll show you like the case so that you can see. But there's also like when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. But there is also like that barcode there as well, right? So maybe after this I can find out. And put it in the description box. There we go. Okay, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Yeah, this is like a lot of, it's like the mindset. It's like determination and mindset and willpower and maintaining like a clear focus on, and having like perspective though, being like coming from that grounded, balanced place. Yeah, it's definitely a lot about balance, because here, if the trees like, you know, was too top heavy and there wasn't enough roots, it would tip over. And then yeah, I guess if there was like too many roots and not enough leaves, then maybe the tree wouldn't be able to photosynthesize and it would lose its leaves, or it would die essentially, I guess. Just take that for the message it is. I know nothing about trees. This side, okay. This one, okay, cool. So the next card we're taking is from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. Okay, so we've had two. So we have dance with life, do something to change your energy, and in a temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Okay, cool. So, you know, doing something fun, like dancing, is always going to be good. It doesn't have to be dancing, but it helps ultimately change our energy so that we're not worried and we're not being like, we're not taking things so seriously, I guess. Let's just move that up there. With the second card that we have about tune into the portal of your heart, I feel like that's that confirmation or reiteration about the message about the heart chakra, where we're not coming, like living from our heart space enough, where we sort of let the mind take over the heart. Okay, group one, I hope that this resonated or made sense to you and you're able to connect it to whatever's playing out within your life at this point in time. I haven't actually been able to get any extra information in regards to like what this actual situation is, other than what I've already come out with for you. I would love to know if it does resonate, or even if it doesn't, if you are comfortable with sharing in the comments. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you in another video at some point. Hey. Welcome group 2. If you chose the orange paper, then this is your message for today. Today's reading will just be a channeled message. So what we had written on our orange paper was, please don't ever take me for granted. Okay, so for this group today, we're going to start with an oracle of the magical spirit. So I do wonder with that, please don't ever take me for granted, whether it will be in relation, like whether it will be regarding a relationship, or whether it's, I guess, more around yourself, like not taking yourself for granted. But hopefully we can get more information so we can determine what the case is here. Okay, so we have the Seeker, all-seeing eye, spirit release. And the message is, could you surrender just a bit more? We also have trust in the places you feel guided towards, with space, time, and self, infinity, reincarnation. Okay. I wonder if this group is like a little bit more spiritually inclined or intuitively guided. I feel like both of these cards are, there's like a lot of divine energy here. Like already just in this first card, the third eye is highlighted and it's open, and it's like all of the magical dust is coming out of it. Not obviously, but it can be hard to surrender at times, like especially on any sort of like self-healing, self-love, or spiritual journey or path. Don't worry if you don't feel like you're particularly like a spiritually inclined person. It could just be at this point in time that your energy, like your intuitive awareness, is heightened more than what it usually is for you. So even if you don't necessarily notice a difference, the difference could be subtle, and it may just be something new to you that you're not really familiar quite with yet. For the trust in the places you feel guided towards, it's like that trusting your intuition. So when you get the nudge, or you have a funny thought, or you get some sort of sign that seems like a genuine coincidence, maybe, if there's not too much of a risk there in following it, give it a chance and see where it goes and see what happens. And for all you know, you could end up building or strengthening the intuition that you do have. Yeah. Okay, so the next card that we're going to take is an Archetype card. Okay, so here we have the Trickster with transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, or manipulating others through duplicity. For this card, I'm having it pointed out that it could be more around manipulating others through duplicity. Now, I am going to read from the book on this. Right, if I could. Okay, so we have plays dubious jokes or tricks, makes fun or is made fun of, can be either a deceiver who tricks others out of something they're entitled. Oh, guys, I just got a message halfway through reading it. To me, it feels like somebody is making fun of you, maybe because of like your spirituality or something like that, or some belief that, or practice that you have or do or partake in, something that maybe makes you a little bit different or sets you apart from the majority of people wherever you are. So maybe it could be even something where, like, I don't know, it's just weird to me to think that like a person that could claim that they are spiritual could make fun of another person for their own unique type of spiritual path. But that's the sort of feeling that I'm getting from this. So it's kind of like, if somebody is doing this, it's okay to like accept that that's what they're doing, and that it's more about them than it is about you. I do feel like you're probably already on a little bit of a higher state of consciousness than like the general population would be anyway. And if you're not currently, you probably have been at different points in time. I understand it can be hard to maintain that state. Where, yeah, I guess we're just like surrendering to the fact that it is just life, and this person is there and they're doing whatever they're doing, and there's always going to be someone that's like, I guess, feels the need to say something or whatever that looks like, but it is just them, and everyone else can see it. You've got to really trust that everyone else can see it, and you've got to trust that they're on their own path, and that within time, even if it takes them a long time to be able to recognize it, at some point they'll probably look back and go, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So here's to hoping to that. And the other side of it is that, you know, if anything, if nothing else, it shows us where we don't want to go and what we don't value within society, and it helps course correct us to the places we do want to go, to be with the people that like are great for us and we would really enjoy and really value, you know, or have similar values and beliefs, or align like a like-minded people. Yeah. Okay. Right. So because we actually haven't chosen any crystals for the groups individually today, I'm going to be using the Chakra Love deck as well. Yeah. I do wonder if for some of you, with this like third eye being opened, because it's also highlighted here in this second card as well, I wonder if the crystal Apophyllite would be a good one for you to work with at this point in time. I do have a piece I can grab so I can show you what it actually looks like, but it's not something I would typically connect with for the third eye. It's not that it's not going to do it or work by any means. We can work with anything, and you know, there's the world is so nuanced in ways that a lot of us don't understand, that we just follow these general guidelines and structures because that way it's like easy to teach and show people, and you know, it saves for a lot of like having to remember things that maybe we don't use all the time. On that note, I'm going to go grab it so I can show you before we pull a card. Okay, so this is the Apophyllite that I have, if you can have a look. It is clear, or predominantly this piece is clear, but there's a lot of striations. I hope if I could get this like in the right light for you, you might actually be able to see it. There's a heap of like very defined striations across some of the faces. Anyway. It's very high vibe though, and I feel like it's very clean or clearing. And while I was in there, I actually noticed the spirit quartz actually stood out quite a lot. It was like, this would also be good. So if you don't have Apophyllite, if you have access to spirit quartz, that would be something that would be good to work with. But I'm also getting for the spirit quartz that this would be one, if you are doing anything to do with like astral traveling, this would help ground you in like that spiritual the spiritual realm, if that makes sense. Like it might be, I sort of get the feeling it would be a little bit protective for you in the other dimensions or worlds or realms, whatever you like to call it or think of it as. But I also feel like it may help channel this like divine energy coming out of the third eye, where it does look like it's just opened all the way up, and it is just radiating out of her in every direction possible. And the only thing that I can say about that, although it's absolutely divine in every way, is that maybe there's no real specific focus, and to help ground things and bring them into reality, it can be good to, like, from a human perspective, okay, just to try to explain this, if there's something here that you're trying to work with in the 3D, the third dimension where we are here on Earth, in the human body, then maybe this will help you bring that in and integrate it or ground it into reality. If you're not worried about that, don't worry about that side of it. Like, I guess you just let it be, because it's beautiful. Okay, so we'll grab a card. There we go. Okay, so the card that we have is actually for the third eye chakra. How good's that? The crystal they've come out with is Labradorite, and the message is dreams are where your mind translates the divine, which is beautiful. So maybe there's, maybe you've been having a lot of like spontaneous, like maybe symptoms or like awakening. Yeah, something spontaneous regarding awakening or spiritual, I don't know, spiritual experiences anyway. You understand what I'm trying to say. If it, that's unless it is specifically regarding your dreams themselves, I could see how that could also actually be exactly what it's all around. Maybe you're getting taken somewhere in your dreams that is actually significant for you, even if it doesn't make sense within the dream to the human mind. It's like something, maybe you're going somewhere in your sleep that you don't even realize that you are, and it's actually really good. It's good for you, or it's highlighting something, or it's doing something with your energy. Like there's some sort of beneficial outcome here. So I wonder, there's something about the dreams. I just got a message about like the dreams are showing where like the home is, or the dreams are where the home is. So depending on the stage that you're at with everything, sometimes our dreams can feel more like home to us than our real life. The only advice I have there is to try to remain grounded throughout any sort of crazy high vibrational experiences we have, as best that you can. It's not even about being grounded, because I feel like you probably are quite grounded anyway, but it's like about integrating it where we find the balance between the two. Okay. This is bizarre. I feel like I was just sort of asking like, all right, what's next? What are we going to look at? But they're saying that that's it for the reading, and like we haven't even pulled tarot cards yet though. Surely that's not it. Surely we can get more. I'm just being drawn back to the all-seeing eye here, and they're just saying like it's like you're all-knowing. They're pointing out that I need to show you the Labradorite. For those of you that have already seen it, I'll just I'll just grab it anyway for the guys that haven't. Yeah, cool. Sorry. So for the people here who haven't actually seen what Labradorite looks like, I feel like you would get like really good hits on, like if you just search the internet and type in Labradorite, see if hopefully you can see how to spell it. It's Labradorite. There's somebody here that really needs to look it up anyway. But typically it can get like a flash, whether it's like blue, green, yellowy, sometimes purpley, different flashes, but yeah. All right, we're gonna go back to trying to take some tarot and see what we get come through. It's bizarre because I wonder for some of you if it's like you don't even really need to hear anything else here. Like you've already received whatever message you were meant to. So, I mean, you're welcome to click off early, I guess. Regardless, we'll just see what we get come out. See if there's anything extra here. Let's go on. Okay. for some of you, I'm getting that there's like a divine partnership, whether it's already here or it's coming in, and it may be like a slow growing thing where we just sort of take time to nurture it and let it grow on its own. We're not going to try to force anything or be attached to an outcome here. And if we're able to, I guess, nurture it in a soft, freeing way, then like we're not going to bonsai this plant, we're going to let it grow as it is, okay? If we're able to do that, I feel like we can, I guess, what's the word? Like we can face the world with our person or something like that. We can go through the cycles of life with our person. For others of you, it's not even about a relationship. It's really just about the fact of like maybe you're feeling so in tandem with spirit or the universe at this point in time that it's kind of like a love of your life in a different way. And yeah. Some sort of divine love here. I'm just getting a message here for those of you that this is regarding a relationship, because it's not all of you, it's just like part of the group it is and part it isn't, that your person would never like make you, if this person is your true person, they would never make fun of any of this stuff for you. They would never put down your beliefs around it or anything like that. And when I say make fun of it, it's okay to like have banter and to I guess, you know, joke with each other and play with each other, but they would never seriously make fun of you in a way that was humiliating about like your practices, beliefs, or spirituality or religion of any kind. There's something, it's bizarre to even have religion come up because it's not something I really talk about. Yeah. And that if this, yeah, for some of you it's like you're not really sure. Maybe for some of you it's like a potential person coming in regards to that relationship, and it's like for you to know that it is your person, you've got to know that they would never humiliate you, and they would give you the time to grow and expand on your own without forcing anything, but they will be there to like nurture you and have your back. They're just going to be really patient, and they're just going to like take their time, and it's like I get the feeling of being slow and steady, right? Like they're going to respect your timing, like your wish for, you know, taking things slowly, or they're going to give you the time to make sure that you're comfortable in whatever the situation is as it develops. They don't want to push you. They don't. I think this person understands, like, because this is, in this card here, this is like, you know, I guess a baby tree or plant of some kind, and they understand that trying to force you or not giving you the right environment or being too rough or too, I guess, pushy in any way could potentially upset the actual growth or development of the, I guess, relationship or your relationship together. So there's like a great deal of respect here, but I feel like there's a true admiration here too, where it's not superficial. It's like this person is just, I guess, kind of, what's the word? Kind of, I don't know. I can't. It's not like fascinated. It's just like they're so like, not even consumed. There's something else. The person's just like so content with like letting, I don't know, maybe spirit will give it back to me at some point soon, maybe. Yeah. I wonder if it's not infatuated. I don't know. Anyway. I feel like this person takes joy in seeing you relax and grow, and get comfortable, and be yourself. Like they actually are happy for you, but also happy to see, like they love seeing the changes that you go through and how you navigate the world and how you come out on top. I don't feel like this person would ever do anything to like jeopardize the relationship here, at least like not intentionally anyway, but I feel like they're quite aware and they feel like it's really special. Like maybe to them it's almost magical, the possibility. I do feel like for one of you lives predominantly more in your like sacral chakra, so that expression of emotions and freedom of expression within like intimacy and intimate acts as per se, but also just like creativity in general. It could, like you or your person could be quite creative, where you're artistically creative in some way, and it doesn't have to be a paintbrush and easel way either. It can be a lot of things we use creativity for. For the other person here, okay, so I feel like the sacral chakra person might have been your person, and that you are this other cup here, where you really are thriving or living from a place of embodying your authentic self, but loving yourself regardless. So it's like, yeah, I guess you'll probably teach your person, oh, this is going to go both ways, okay? So like one of you is going to teach your person, like, or show your person how they can happily show up in the world in an authentic way, where they do have compassion for themselves and they're allowed to make mistakes and they're allowed to change and transform as time goes on because they've made that allowance. And for the other one of you, maybe you're currently learning how to express your emotions, and you know, you're building on forms of intimacy that maybe you weren't, I don't know, maybe it wasn't something that you're ever comfortable with in the first place. But the idea is that with these two cups, no matter what each of you are like, there's enough of everything between the two of you that it'll make something really beautiful and long-lasting or everlasting and really magical. I don't know if there would be, I'm hearing like a lot of loves like this. Yeah, I don't know if you already have this person, or you know, this person comes in for you, I'd be totally stoked for you. For those of you that don't, I'm trying not to speak in too much slang, and so I guess I could also say that I would be really happy for anyone who gets to experience this. Okay, so that's everything that I'm getting here for this group. So I feel like the key message here is just to please don't take me for granted. And outside of that, I feel like the rest will basically take care of itself. You know, embrace any practices that you have or any connection that you have with the divine. And I'm sure they'll be your biggest supporter anyway, if this person isn't already. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and they're just pointing out before they let me wrap it up that for those of you that aren't in the relationship, this Two of Cups, this hand holding yours, is the universal spirit or the divine. For some of you, maybe your angels. Yeah, okay. That's everything that, oh, there's still something else here. I keep getting the feeling that it's like time to wrap up, but then it's like, no, there's just one more thing. They're saying that these cups are full, and that you need to learn to maintain your own cup before you can, you know, I guess share. Yeah. Okay, group 2, that is everything that I have for you for today's reading. I hope that this resonated and was helpful in some way. Please let me know whether it was or wasn't in the comments, because it's really helpful to know whether it's hitting home for people or not. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, of what's left of it, and we'll see you in another video. Okay, group 3, welcome to today's reading. This is a channeled message from Spirit, so we'll see what we have here in the red paper. Hail Mary, forgive us those who trespassed against us. Today we'll be using the Waite Tarot. Whoa, what have we done here? This is all major arcana. We've got the Ace of Swords here, the Star, and the Tower. Oh. Sorry, I just got the nudge to the message to correct the order. Okay, so I feel like the Tower moment is where you're currently at. So if this has either already happened or is currently happening, where maybe things are crumbling or falling down or crumbling all around you. This could be quite like tumultuous times right now. It might be hard to just get your feet on the ground or to find like any sort of solid foundation in this point in time. It's almost like there like is nothing for you to stand on here at all for some of you. So all you can do is, I guess, just go with it, like just in a sense, like roll with the punches, like in a figuratively. We're obviously not going to accept anybody, like any sort of physical harm. I'm just hearing like the windows are on fire, the door's on fire, the world's on fire. So for some of you, it's like no matter which way you turn, there may be absolute chaos all around you, or, you know, things are being lost or taken away in a sense where even if they looked really solid or they've served you for many years or a long time, they no longer serve you now. And it's time to course correct or structure correct. Course correct the structure is what they're trying to say. Yeah. So when you do rebuild here, you'll be rebuilding on somewhere that has more landmass, and you're going to look at like a different way of doing things or a different design for how you want your life to look at, so that this doesn't happen again, more or less. Obviously there are times in life, like, you know, life is out of our control a lot of the time anyway, but they're just speaking in regards to what you directly can control, okay? So there's nothing, like, I don't feel like anyone's really done anything wrong here or has necessarily been the cause of their own demise. For some of you, if you feel like that is the case, then maybe this is for very good reason that this Tower moment is happening, so that it can course correct you in that manner as well. I am also hearing that for a lot of you, this is going to be a lot of the people around you, even if it's not directly negatively affecting you, where maybe a lot of the people in your life are currently going through some form of like chaos, even if it's not actually you yourself. I'm getting a funny message here where this person wearing the red cape is like significant here for some reason, where it's like he's falling and he doesn't feel safe, but like there's nothing he can do to stop it but fall anyway. And so I don't know if this is regarding you or someone in your like life where they may be not really handling the situation at all because they might be in a state of survival, not knowing what to do or where to turn or how to navigate what's happening for them at this point in time. And it's really like a message of there's not really anything that they can do except to just go with it, and just make the best of it where they get a choice. So because there won't be a lot of choice. Okay. I'm also getting reference for like this lightning bolts tearing things apart and you need to get out. So if some of you are still currently in this situation and there's something unfolding around you, if you have a way to get yourself and any loved ones out of this situation, or out of this place or away from whatever's happening or unfolding, it would be really good to be able like to do that. But I guess I'm not the person there in your life, you are, so you'll know whether it's something that this all exists on a variant where for some of you it's like quite extreme and for others of you it's maybe something smaller. It would still affect you, but it's not the same degree. So I guess you're the person there in the situation. You can use discernment as to whether you should stick around or not. But the message here is to like get out. The sooner that you can, the better it would be. Okay. Ultimately, I feel like this tower moment that's happening or already happened is going to help create you like or turn you into the star. It's going to help you with this level of like transformation here, where you do feel divinely connected, and maybe you do feel at one with earth. Maybe you feel like you're in your element. Maybe you feel like this is like your true divine expression or manifestation of who you are on the planet, where you are just existing in like a divine nature given form that you are, and you are shown the way, or you are guided to where there is prosperity and abundance around you. I'm hearing like fertile lands. And just divinely connected in intuition here as well. Okay, there's something else here. I'm getting something about like watering your garden as well, where maybe, yeah, you're in a position to be able to water your garden or look after your garden and nurture your garden in some way. Okay, so we're moving on to the Ace of Swords here. So we know we've had our Tower moment. It ultimately helps shape us or form us in some sort of way, whether it's legacy building or it sets us up on our path, like our divine path. Maybe it gives us a nudge in the right direction for how, you know, everything's going to play out. Ultimately, that's what it does, and it's like character building, right? So the Ace of Swords here, this is like if you can maintain some balance with the star here and you're able to stay on path and follow the path and embrace it as best that you can. I feel like we're learning that level of surrender, or embracing just being able to do what we can with what we have at this Tower moment. Obviously times get a lot better where we're able to actually embrace life in a way that we would prefer to again, or in a way that is like, even if it's not pleasurable, it's just a lot more comfortable or bearable than what it had been beforehand. And we ultimately can step into this like Ace of Swords energy. But I feel like this is also going to be a boundary thing where you, through whatever you've gone through, are going to be able to like not even defend, but like protect yourself or your loved ones. Maybe you've got, maybe you put new boundaries up or something. Maybe something's changed here through this process. Maybe, yeah, I feel like a lot of you probably don't really feel very stable or very maybe for some of you, you don't feel quite confident in the person that you are, but you'll be gaining so much confidence and wisdom throughout this period of time, throughout your journey here. There'll be a lot of clarity. If you didn't have discernment before for who was around you and what was happening, you will now, okay? So it's not, maybe that was something that you worried about, like maybe you felt confused and maybe you couldn't actually tell what was going on because there was so much chaos going on. Or even if there wasn't so much chaos going on, maybe you couldn't tell the difference between the chaos and normal life. Maybe that's all you've known, or we don't know. There's so many different ways that this could look for different people. But it's like that sense of reassurance here that you will be protected, you will be able to protect yourself, you'll be able to look after yourself, you'll have that level of independence here where you won't be forced to rely on people in the same way that you actually did once before that got you initially put into this tower moment anyway. In some ways, when you look back at the transformation of how everything plays out and your own growth and personal development, it may almost seem magical to you to look back and realize how far you've come or what you've had to overcome or how you've achieved it, how you've gotten there. For some of you, I'm getting a funny message here where I feel like there is almost like a divine channeled, like, what am I trying to say? For some of you, these boundaries will seem like they've come out of nowhere, and it's actually something that's being channeled, right? So maybe you spent a bit of time on your own, or maybe you were able to connect to spirit in some way, shape or form. And maybe what you don't realize is that when you're setting up these boundaries, maybe it's the first time that you've really done this, or maybe it's not the first time, but maybe it's the first time you've really put your foot down hard, where you've gone, no, these boundaries I had before weren't enough, and so I'm going to really amp it up here. And it's essentially saying that you're like backed, your like spirit is helping you in some way, where they're either helping you put the boundary out, or they're helping enforce it, or they're helping protect you whilst you actually undergo this process of putting the boundaries out there. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder for some of you if this tower moment is from a loved one or someone that was around you. For some of you, you may having to be leaving home. For some of you, may have gone through some sort of breakup. Yeah, some sort of separation there. Okay, so what do we want to take next? Okay, so because we don't have any crystals for the individual groups today, we're using the Chakra Love cards. This one's okay, so we have the solar plexus chakra with the crystal Mukite, and the message is, shine, you are made of stardust, so keep sparkling. I wonder if for some of you, you feel you resonate with the starseed, with being a starseed, where you don't really feel like you're from this planet. For others of you, it's really like that you step into your power. And for some of you, you just stop dimming your light. You let yourself take up space. You let yourself be the star for a while, and it doesn't matter if other people don't like it, because they're not going to like a lot of things we do anyway, right? They're probably, if they can see that you have, there's some people, if they just see that you have that potential to be the star, even if you're not being the star, the fact that you have the mere potential will be enough for them to sort of want to try to put you down some way anyway. This is not like messages that I sort of like to give. It's just something that's really coming through. I guess where I come from is like, where what I mean by that is that I'm not really here to try to get everyone on a negative frame of mind where we're thinking or wondering like what people aren't happy for us in our lives. This person doesn't have to be particularly close to you, but maybe they were. Maybe it was like a person within a work, I guess, place, you know, that's tried to have this foundation come crumbling around. I am hearing to meditate will help you embrace your star here for this group. And I've got to point out there is like the yellow through all three of these cards is a little bit of a pattern here where it's not overtaking anything. So for those of you, sometimes when we step into our power, we can feel like maybe we are taking up too much space, or maybe we're being, I don't know, over the top. But the energy that I get from this is that you've never been over the top, even when you thought you've been over the top. And if anything, you could maybe do it a little bit more, or leave like more of an allowance for yourself to be able to actually just be you, and just like other people get to be themselves and be comfortable. Why can't you? Yeah. Maybe through this Tower moment, it's affected your confidence in a lot of ways. And this, like, you know, I guess what's next for you is spending time with yourself, knowing what you're made of is ultimately what's going to get you through this time. I'm hearing the darkness is all around you, but it won't be forever. Okay, so that's everything I have for those cards. We're going to take, oh look, here we go, the Starseed Oracle. That's what we're going to use. It doesn't matter if you don't resonate with the Starseed message, but I think it's quite common for a lot of people to not necessarily feel like they belong. I actually wonder if some of you like elephants, because I've never brought the elephant out before, but today it was a specific thing that we did just for the reading. They're also highlighting that the blue is important as well, and it's just about being yourself. So it's kind of, I guess the message between the two is that, like, it's okay to be yourself, like your authentic person as you are, no apologies. And it's okay to like take up space and to, I don't know, like it's okay if other people aren't okay with it, because it's you, and you don't need to apologize if you maybe come off a little bit eccentric or different to what they're used to. Like, because it's not, you don't have to apologize about being different. You don't have to make allowances on other people's behalves. Okay, so we have deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. I just wonder if for some of you, just going through a state of rebirth at this point in time, which that, you know, that makes perfect sense with the Tower. It's like the end of something and the birth of something new, and we're just making way for something new. I feel like this is just reassurance, really. But the universe loves you like a child, as if the universe was your mother. But I guess the universe is our parent in most of the ways, right? For others of you, may resonate more with them having a deep connection to the Mother Earth. And just trusting that she'll look after you during this time. I actually feel like you could be quite intuitively connected, if I haven't already said that. Okay. Oh, for others of you, this could be like the rare gifts, could be like a claircognizance, or it's like something to do with having like a clear mind, where if it's not a claircognizance, maybe there's some sort of like telepathy, or maybe you're just clear enough and grounded enough that you're able to, I don't know, bring in messages or some like downloads of some kind. There's, yeah, like a really, maybe you have an open dialogue with spirit in some way. Yeah. Okay, group 3, that's everything that I actually have for you today. I hope that you, that this resonated for you and that you actually got something out of it. And yeah, it would be great if you let us know if it actually did resonate or not. I'm really interested to see, I want to check that it's hitting home for people. But with that said, I will leave you to it, and hopefully we'll see you in another video.